And here we go again. Boom. Radically and quickly. It's Wednesday night. It's time for another edition of Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. Yes.
Radical.
I'm your host, Pat Renwick. I'm pretty excited to be back. We've been off for a little bit. I hope y'all had a happy and healthy and safe 4th of July.
Hope you got all your digits.
Yeah, I blew some stuff up.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Like what?
Like, I put a bunch of things in a steel garbage can and put gas in there, and then I started it on fire and just watched things happen.
Possums?
No animals. Gosh,
No.
No, it was all explosives. But I hope you had a great 4th of July, and we're back. iCast is done, and now it's back to bass fishing business as usual. We took time off for iCast. We scheduled our vacations around that, and we didn't go. We just stayed home and had a Stray Cast.
Yeah.
Stray Cast, iCast. Bestest show.
iCast at home.
Was right here. iCast at home. But no, all kinds of great things happening in the world of bass fishing. But now it's back to business as usual. And we bring to you tonight the 2019 FLW Angler of the Year. David Dudley joins us. Chow chow. That's what I'm saying. Chow chow chow. Ryan, what is going on with you? Everybody is weird here today.
It's that new light you got.
It's iridescent.
So bright. Is that IKEA?
No, it's actually TH Marine Blue Water LED.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Blue Water LED, flexible light?
It's off camera. You're not. That's my cheat sheet. You're not. See, it's why I got it off camera.
Oh, it is off camera.
That's why I got it off camera. See what I'm saying?
All right.
But it's right there. Yeah. Anyway. Hello.
Yeah, but I can. They're flip ups though. So
I like it. Yeah.
anytime I look this way.
So if we're gonna play catch after the show,
exactly.
you'll
Sean
be able
Dunston.
to catch the Texas Leaguers.
Yeah.
Speaking of Texas Leaguers, I want to introduce to you, for the first time ever, Bass Fishing Galaxy, 2020 BASS Open competitor, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Popcorn Whitaker.
It's not official yet.
No, it's official now.
Okay.
We just made it official at this point in time. So, Andy, could you mark this? I believe this is show number 19 of season, what are we, 5 or 4? 4. Ooh, show
4.
19 of season 4 is where Ryan announced he will be competing in the 2020 Bassmaster Opens. Congratulations, Ryan Whitaker.
Thanks. It's a soft announcement.
Yes. Yeah, it's an easy entry. It's a soft entry.
It's a soft entry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I've not sent my soft entry in yet.
But good, but dude, that's awesome.
It's a soft commitment.
I'm glad Fighter talked you into it. Could you please take those glasses off? You're creeping me out with that.
Why?
I can't see your eyes.
All right, fine.
You're like the old guy in the park again.
You don't trust me?
No, I trust you, but is that your hand? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ryan Popcorn Whitaker right there. Yes, Ryan, you excited to be back, dude?
Hell yeah.
Me too,
Yeah.
man.
Bass fishing talk.
I'm a little antsy.
I'm ready to play bass fishing, talk about bass fishing.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
And you know who else talks about bass fishing?
Who's that?
Our buddy.
Is that guy?
He's our buddy over there.
Yeah, he's got his fishing shirt on.
He's a big fan of the Motorhead song.
Who's
Right?
that Motorhead song by anyway?
It goes, Motorhead, what's your price for flight? Ladies and gentlemen, it's J.P., Your Royal Highness, Lord of the Deepwater Jig,
Balling out.
JPI. Fight. He's dynamite. What's going on, JP?
Yo.
Where are you? What is going on with all you guys today?
He's still at Lake Geneva.
For crying out loud, you guys are still at iCast.
Motorhead. Price to ride tonight.
I like it. JP, you got a Rick Clunn shirt on tonight. It's kind of Aztec-y.
Yeah, New Mexico.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
You're missing those leather tassels.
Southwesty. It's kind of southwesty.
That is southwesty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You going to wear
It's
that
like
fishing?
Albuquerque.
It's what I wear in Joshua Tree.
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
It's where you wear what?
Joshua Tree.
In the Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
When I find stuff.
You had a
Me
little
too.
derb, didn't you?
I had a derb.
Yeah, last weekend in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Smashed him.
Lake Geneva. Oh, there's
Smashed
the derb.
him.
You can only go one direction on Lake Geneva, right? It's like a racetrack.
Yeah, one direction.
Not
which
the
is
band.
all directions at all times. Yeah.
No, isn't it just that you're
No,
supposed
it's like counterclockwise.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
What?
JP,
What are you-
go like this with your
What
hands.
are you, me?
Go. Godzilla.
Leave the throat clearing to me there, guy.
What the world is going on around here? JP had a tournament on Lake Geneva. You can only go one direction. How'd you do?
I did all right.
You did good. On a deep water jig, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard.
Yep.
And you broke your Zilla.
I did.
How'd
yeah.
you do that?
I high sticked a smallmouth. Pretty bad.
Did you get all excited?
Yeah, I boat flipped it about 8 feet away.
Did you talk to the guys at Alpha Angler?
Not yet. I don't want to seem like I'm taking advantage.
Well, no, that's.
But I want a new one, guys.
They tell us to try and break them. I mean, they don't tell us to
did.
have fights with them and stuff in the
I'm
front
still
yard.
trying. It hasn't happened yet.
I broke one, but it was it was my fault.
I throw
It
them
always
around.
happens. It always happens. But hey, we fish.
True.
We bass fish.
Yeah, a few bass fish.
You know who else bass fishes?
Who's that?
You know who else has red hair? You know who else has an amazing Stranger Things shirt on?
I have a guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Lord of them all. Step right up to the cell phone kiosk. I'm Andy Ellenberger, and I got a great special today going on iPhone covers and Android chargers. Come on down to the kiosk. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Ellenberger, the Ginger Ninja, 80s Mall Flashback.
That was kind of like your Chevy commercial at the Kokomo show.
Rock-a-bama, baby.
This guy will put you in a Chevy.
He'll put you in a Chevy. He's Harry Schmerler, your singing Ford man. Herb Froman, that's Kielbasa King from Chicago.
What's up, dude?
Speaking of winning stuff, I didn't even say anything about winning anything.
Speaking of it,
Speaking of winning stuff, what's going on here tonight, Ryan Popcorn Whitaker?
we're going to give away some line and lure.
Line and lure.
Slicking up that fluorocarbon.
Schlicking
Or
the
braid.
line.
Or mono.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
Medcore.
And
Or Dacron.
you might have heard me say before about line and lure. When we get to fishing, if you're anything like me, it's kind of tough to stop and do stuff. Especially if you're on a roll and you're making a lot of casts and you're dialed in and you're on your deep water jig fish like
Yes,
JP
sir.
High. One of the tricks I can tell you that I do with line and lure, and this is super easy as long as you get in the habit of doing it, spray it on that line before you go out.
Yes.
The night before you go out. It sinks in like a hair conditioner, absorbs, penetrates your fluorocarbon, your monofilament, or your braid.
Or even better, put it on while you're spooling. Run it through a rag.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Get it all the way down deep in there.
Absolutely. And then multiple applications afterwards, it kind of builds up on the line. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I
But
even
don't
put a
forget-
little under my arms when I'm not feeling too good.
It works on mold on your showers.
Is that right?
True story. Don't put
Wow.
it on the floor part
Right.
because it'll
On
get
the
slick.
tiles?
But on the tiles,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
BTS too works for
Yeah.
that too. So does line and lure.
Yeah.
It does. Clean cell phones. It slices, dices, and even catches mices. Yes, this new amazing product by Romco can be yours.
My boat
All
actually
you
has
have
a
to
shine
do-
for the first time ever because
Well,
of
it
that
builds
BTS.
up. It kind of
Used
builds
it.
up. The BTS builds up as a layer, keeps the scum line off. Boom chakalaka. Giant bass.
That's what it equals.
So all you got to do, sorry about that. All you got to do is like and share the live Facebook feed, and you got a chance tonight to win $50 worth of KVD line and lure. That's all it is. Super simple. Like and share the live Straycast Facebook feed. JP High.
I do not make it private.
Yeah, keep it off of private.
Keep your privates hidden.
JP High, put you in a randomizer. At the end of the show, there you go. Hey, so what do you say? Bass Fishing Galaxy, put the power poles down. Don't go nowhere. We're coming back with David Dudley. Boom. Step up your game. It has been said that professionals are only as good as the tools they work with, and Alpha Angler has developed the ultimate set of tools for you, the competitive angler. Alpha Angler custom rods, brought to fruition by the passion of master craftsman Jake Boomer and 2017 BASS Angler of the Year Brandon Palaniuk. Alpha Angler rods are custom made in the USA. Designed and engineered to be perfect, Alpha Angler utilizes a very unconventional approach to making the very best bass rods, from drop shotting to flipping. Alpha Angler's focus is on building perfectly balanced tournament-grade bass rods at an affordable price. Join the Alphalution today and purchase direct at alphaangler.com. Step up your game. alphaangler.com.
The TH Marine HydroWave H2 KVD Edition is a surefire way to ignite a feeding frenzy. The HydroWave utilizes a sound-emitting technology that imitates bait fish and other feeding fish below the surface that preys on the competitive nature of bass and other game fish to get you more bites. The HydroWave is another way that TH Marine has you covered from transom to trolling motor.
Throw farther, get some Kevin Van Dam's line and lure. You can launch it a mile. Still going. Well, better stick to fishing.
Hey guys, Micah Frazier here. I've got a bait from War Eagle. It's called the Screaming Eagle. You may think this is a small 1/4 ounce bait, but it's actually a 1/2 ounce. The Screaming Eagle has got weighted shank of the hook. It goes down into the shank, but it's hidden under the skirt, so you can maintain that compact size. War Eagle's born in the Ozarks and the deep, clear lakes. This is a great bait, deep, clear water, spotted bass, smallmouth. I mean, it's a fish catcher. Y'all check it out.
The swim jig technique is one of the most successful ways to put fish in the boat. Time in and time out, Brovani bait swim jigs are just the right tool for the job. Beaming with quality, the Brovani swim jigs come in a myriad of colors, feature the best premium hooks and solid trailer keepers to give you, the serious bass angler, the confidence you need to accomplish your goal of putting more fish in the boat. So go to BrovaniBaits.com and start climbing the ladder to swim jig success.
Four-time FLW Angler of the Year, Forest Wood Cup champion, all-round amazing guy. He's a bassin' outlaw, and he goes by the name of David Dudley. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you right now the 2019 FLW Angler of the Year, David Dudley, right there. What up, dude?
What's up?
What's going on?
That was a pretty cool intro right there, man. I enjoyed that.
What was even better is you kind of emerged out of the shadows. You know, we had that dramatic music coming and you were in the shadows, and then boom, there he is.
That was my walkthrough.
That was amazing, dude. Absolutely. Good to see you, man. How are you?
Good to see y'all. I'm doing good. Just sweating like crazy up here at I should say down here at what's the name of this lake? Lake Hamilton, where the Forest Wood Cup's going to be.
Aha. Is that what you're doing?
It's hot, humid, sweating. 6,279,000 boats out there skiing.
Wow.
And the fish ain't biting, so fishing actually seems like work right now.
But it's actually for the Forest Wood Cup. It's going to be on fire. Come August 7th, that lake's turning on, buddy.
I like your attitude towards it, but I don't see it getting better.
Hey, you never know. You never know. I mean, are you seeing anything you like out there?
No. I'm just kind of like at anything, when you're this early, you try not to get dialed in on anything. You just kind of want to get a feel for what's going on. That way, when you get back, you can get yourself dialed in.
But you don't like to practice anyway, do you?
No, I never pre-fish for a single tournament. But the only tournament that I'll pre-fish for is the Cup. And simply because they hold it so late in the year that when it's, wherever the fish are at right now, pretty much they'll be there, same spots in 2 weeks later. When we go from February to March, March to April, April to May, May to June, the fish are moving so much, pre-fishing does you no good at all.
Gotcha.
But when it gets to summer and the water gets super hot, they're pretty much there always.
It's going to be a good event. I think you guys will have a good time, and regardless of the fact, how amazing would it be if you could pull off another Cup victory, man, and a little hat trick,
A little bookend.
a little double bookend. Yes, an AOI and a cup berth, or a Cup win, I should say, in the same year. That's amazing.
Yeah, that would be I don't think anybody's done that, much less won 2 Cups. So if I could do that, that would be two more titles that I could put under my belt for right now.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
And it's very plausible. I mean, let's look at history of David Dudley and Forest Wood Cups. Of course, you've won one, but you usually finish pretty good. I think. How many have you been in, man? Like, I don't know, like 14, 15, 19? What? How many?
Yeah, this will be my 20th Forest Wood Cup.
Okay, 20th. Okay, I got close. I took 3 guesses, and I got. Yeah. But I mean, you historically, I know. I mean, I think you've had some 40 place, some 30 places, but you're usually in that top 15, 17, aren't you?
Yeah, they actually did a stat or something. I don't remember the stats, but yeah, I'm normally very high in the standings in the Cup. So, it's one of those tournaments where you have to grind them out, and I do pretty well in those. So we'll,
see what happens.
My stats are pretty high for the Forest Wood Cup, is what I'm saying.
Are you thinking about it, man? I mean, are you creatively visualizing that potential at all? Are you?
No, I haven't visualized anything. I've been here for 3 days, and I don't think what I have found has any potential to do even a top 15. So,
oh goodness!
But we'll have 4 days that when we come back, they actually allow us 4 days of practice for the Cup. So that's when I'll kind of muscle in on the lake and really try to figure out what's going on.
Take it as it comes, like you always have. Like you always have.
It's a good thing, though. You don't want to win practice. Win in practice.
Yeah, there's a plenty guys on tour that always win practice. Always. They're the number one practice guys for sure.
Hey, let's go. Let's take it back to let's say like 1995. Okay, an 18 or 19-year-old David Dudley. What were you, 18 or 19? And
well, I started on the invitationals, which I started at 18, and I turned 19 in September. So I actually started it when I was 18 years old.
And you had an amazing first year, man. I mean, come on, dude. I don't think you could ask for much more.
18 years old, I qualified for the Bassmasters Classic, and I was the youngest to ever fish the Bassmasters Classic at 19 years old. I had diapers on when I strolled around in that Coliseum. It was when you're a teenager going through that Coliseum in 1995 or something like that. Yeah, that'll get your adrenaline going. That hooks you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That was a drug that I ain't never been able to shake.
Didn't you tell us last time you were on the show you used to answer the phone Bassmaster Classic champion David Dudley when you were a kid?
Yeah, for sure. Yep, that's when we had the old landlines. My kids don't even know what a landline
Right.
is anymore, but we had the landlines, and that's how I used to answer the phone. I mean, it's been a goal of mine forever.
So now you just go 4-time FLW Angler of the Year, David Dudley. How may I direct your call? Is that what you do?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's similar to JP's voicemail over here. His voicemail, he says, that's another 5-pounder.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
That's all it is.
Hey, you beat the pants off of some pretty respectable guys your first year as in the invitationals, man. You won Angler of the Year. You qualified for the Classic.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually tell y'all the story behind that. A guy named Steve Lloyd, who lived in the same town as I did in Lynchburg, Virginia, when they announced that they were going to have an invitational style tournament, that was the very first year that ever came out. And it was really first, if you call in, first come, first serve. So Steve Lloyd went and rented or bought a cot, slept outside their door, got there the day before, slept overnight on the sidewalk of Birmingham, Alabama. He was the third person to walk in, and he wasn't the only one that did that. There was 2 other guys in front of him that had the same thing. He was the third one to walk through the door, and when he walked through the door, he registered me, and he registered him to fish the invitationals. And that's when, back in the day, that was the very first time we had, every legend was fishing it. Clun, Roland Martin, Kevin Van Dam,
Nixon.
Zell Rowland. I mean, you name the list, they were there. And at 18 years old, I beat them all and made it to the Classic. So it was pretty exciting.
That's amazing. So what are you thinking as a 19-year-old? Were you pretty much, when you went in at this, were you pretty much like, there's nothing going to stop me? Were you full of piss and vinegar and that was it?
No, I knew what I was called to do. I reckon I knew I was born to be a fisherman, and it's not that I was cocky saying I'm going to go in and whoop these guys, but when you know you're doing the right thing and you know what you're meant to do, it's not like I was doubting my abilities. It was like, no, I'm a professional bass fisherman. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm called to do. And that's not cocky. That's just confidence in what you're made for.
Sure.
And I know I was made to be a fisherman.
Faith and belief.
What's that?
Faith and belief.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew what God had called me to be. And it's just, it's a confidence thing that has carried me to where I'm at now. There's a fine line between cocky and confidence. And a lot of times people mistake confidence for somebody who may accuse you of being cocky. Cocky is saying, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to catch 18 pounds today and I'm going to catch 20 pounds tomorrow. That's cocky.
Okay.
Confidence says, I feel, I got a good area. I feel good about what I found in practice. I feel that I can get some bites. You see the difference? Yeah. Some people, it's a fine line, and a lot of times people mistake confidence for cockiness. And most of the top anglers in the world, they have every pore in their body bleeds out confidence.
Sure.
And people who aren't as confident as somebody else looks at them and desires to have that confidence, but they call it cockiness. I don't know.
You're one of those anglers. So is Jason Christie.
Right.
Christie's the same way.
There's just I don't know how to describe it any more than that, but there's just a Jason Christie. When you look at him, there's a confidence that just bleeds through him.
Yeah, it exudes. Yeah.
And you look at him and you're like, yep, he's not cocky, but he's confident he's going to go out there and catch him 5.
Right.
Scary.
Yeah, I like how you put it. You're like, hey, I feel pretty good about what I'm doing. I think I can go out there and catch him tomorrow. I think I'm going to go catch him tomorrow, instead of being like, hey, I'm going to go out there and jack 20 pounds and kick your butt tomorrow, dude.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's the difference.
Yeah, a lot. And then that's where some people get misconstrued because fishing deals a lot with confidence, right? You got to have confidence in what you're doing out on the water. And I reckon you could say that about any sport. Like any sport, you could say, Peyton Manning's going to have confidence he can find an open player. LeBron James has got confidence when he pulls up for a three. He's like, you know what? I feel good about it. I can make a shot. Instead of saying, I'm going to make this shot, or I feel I can make that shot. He's confident in his ability, confident in what he's learned, and, that's the difference. And same thing with fishing. You got to have – there's a confidence about a fisherman that you got to have. Now, confidence doesn't – now, there was an article, and it was a pretty neat article. Confidence – and I even rebutted to it. It was confidence doesn't equal a fish catch. Just because you're confident doesn't mean it transfers into catching fish. The same way, the example that I gave them, and I said, if confidence is that confidence cannot put that golf ball in the hole. I can have all the confidence in the world, but you still have to have the physical attributes. You still have to be able to cast. You have to be able to mentally know when to go, when to change. You have to read the green. You can have all the confidence in the world, but that doesn't equal fish catch. So don't misconstrue me on saying Dudley says if you're confident, you can go out there and catch fish. No, I'm not saying that because fishing is such an incredible sport. Like I almost relate it to what's that? Deckgummit, chess game. All right.
Okay.
Here's a trivia.
Yeah.
You guys comment below on Facebook, and I'm going to reveal the answer in about 30 seconds. Nice. After three moves of a chess game, all right, you guys are listening. How many moves do you think are possible after three moves of a chess game? So the reason I'm saying this is fishing is almost the same way. Okay. And I'm going to answer it here in about 20 more seconds. Fishing is the same way. There's endless possibilities.
Yeah.
So I could go down a bank and catch the same fish that you just caught on a square bill on let's say a shaky head. Same fish. Or I could go down the same bank or same grass line. You're throwing a square bill and I'm throwing a chatterbait. Same fish, different strategy. There's so many different moves that you can do. You can't get dogmative. So the reason I say this, the game of chess after three moves, let me hear your guess. What would you guess?
I would say infinite.
Of course, there's a stopping point. But after three moves, what do you think?
6 gazillion?
Gazillion.
4.
No, there's 3 billion moves possible after you move 3 times on a chess play.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
3 billion. I didn't mistake million from billion. It's crazy. Now, fishing doesn't have that many options, but it does have a lot of options, okay?
Sure, close.
There's a zillion there's a gazillion ways to catch them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I reckon it could be, but we don't have that many possibilities. But it's just an intriguing game that I relate it to as chess, because you can attack your opponent in chess it's a game of memorization. And there's a guy named Magnus. There's actually a documentary, and the guy's name is Magnus. He's the all-time. He's like the Bobby Fischer he's the modern day Bobby Fischer.
Gotcha.
And it's such a cool documentary. I've watched it 3 times, and every time I watch it, I gain more knowledge from this dude. And but it's just cool. It's a game of memorization, and fishing is that same way. Everything we do is a game of memorization. So our muscle memory is a game of memorization. Yeah. We may pull up a fish catch from a while ago. That's memorization. We may remember what adjustment we made years ago on a certain body of water. It's memorization. So fishing is a lot like chess in a sense where it's memorization, but we got a lot more physical attributes. It's just fishing's an intriguing game is what I'm trying to tell you. I know I went long-winded on all that stuff.
No, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
And David, that cockiness you mentioned, that stuff gets squashed so fast in bass fishing, doesn't it? I mean, you're just not gonna catch them every day. If you say I'm gonna go out there and smash them, it ain't gonna happen. And if you do that every day, you're gonna look foolish after a while, or be the guy that makes the excuses.
I could have a hole where I'm catching them every cast. I mean, like hundreds of them there, and you'll still never hear me say I'm gonna go out and wreck them tomorrow, or I feel like I'm gonna win that tournament.
That's just like a kiss of death.
The wind could kill it. Yeah. Rising water, falling water, whatever, mayflies, anything could kill it.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's we went off on a tangent there from the timeline. I like it though. Where were we? We were at 90. We were still at 1995. Boy, we got.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey,
so we went from 1995 wearing a diaper, going through the Coliseum fishing the Classic, to talking about chess games.
Yes, boy, that's the magic of a bass fishing talk show right there. That's it right there. I want to talk about the M1 tournament when you won that $700,000. I mean, that's a pretty big deal for you. So you kind of put it into perspective yourself, going from diapers into the Coliseum and now cashing a check for $700,000 a few short years later. That's that's nuts, dude.
That was a cool tournament, and it was at a time of my life when I was I had racked up some credit. I played the credit card game as a teenager, when I started fishing. So my credit cards were pretty deep. And I was guiding at the time down at the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And it was awesome. Everybody was, happy. The economy was awesome. And I was kicking butt on guiding. And, my best friend called me. He said, "Ain't you going to fish that Millennium?" I said, "Man, no." I said, I ain't going to. I said, and I actually finished third place in the first Millennium.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
And then I said, "No," I said, I'm going to work some of this credit." He goes, "Man, you ought to do it." And, money, I was chiseling away at these cards. I said, if you want to sponsor me and pay my entry fee and pay my hotel, I said, I'll split whatever I win with you. He's like, "All right, I'll call you back on that." So he called me back the next day, and he goes, "You want to fish that tournament?" I said, "Well, you're going to have to pay everything." He's like, "All right, I'll do it." So get this. I ended up winning the tournament, and I figured this dude was going to be the first one to call me. Like, this is when we had them old bag phones and flip phones, and, but
absolutely.
I was like, surely he's going to be the first one to call me.
Way up. Yeah.
So we win, and I get all my pictures done. And we go get something. Me and my wife getting something to eat that night, and she goes, "Have you heard from, him?" I said, "No, I ain't heard a word from him." So I called him up while we were eating supper. I said, "Hey, da-da-da." I said, "What?" He goes, "What's going on?" I said, "Well, nothing much, man. What's going on with you?" He goes, "Oh, I'm just whatever, da-da-da." And I'm sitting here in amazement. Like, I figured he would just
bring it up.
I was like, "Well, hey, I finished up on that tournament." "Oh, my gosh, yeah, I forgot about that." He goes, "How did you do?" I said, "Are you, I'm thinking in my head, are you kidding me?" I'm like, "I won it." He's like, "No." I said, "Yeah, I won it." He goes, "Ah. So, anyways, I wrote him a check for $350,000.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
nice.
That's a Cinderella story right there.
Yeah. That was a good sponsorship, huh?
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's all right, man.
How much was the entry fee on that thing?
I don't, that was one of those weird entry fees. So if you were Ranger, it went something like this. If you were Ranger boats, instead of $2,000, it was $1,000. And you had all these
Ranger Cup and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, no. Then you had Mercury, and then if you had this product on your boat, I think it ended up being around $5,000 is what he ended up paying.
It's a hell of an investment.
Yeah, he got 350.
Absolutely.
They were like, man, that would have been hard for me. Y'all didn't have a contract. Y'all didn't. I said no. I said I just told him I'd split with it. He goes, a lot of people were like, man, that would have been hard for me to write that check. I said, what?
Easy.
I said, I never would have fished it anyway.
Exactly.
I said, I was super happy to write a check for $350.
That's amazing.
So anyways, that's a Millennium story.
Hey, well, on that Millennium, too, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you, like, make some last-minute decision on that deal, too, for the win?
I'm sorry, I got distracted. What did you say?
Who's bothering you over there?
That was Matt Becker.
Oh, is Matt bothering you? Let's say hi to Matt real quick.
Yeah, they want to say hi to you, Matt. He's coming back around here. We made some guacamole, and he's over there pounding it down while I'm eating. He ain't saving me none over there. It's gone. He said it's gone.
Is Matt on him? Is he on him?
We had spotted bass tacos for supper tonight. There he is, right there.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Becker, right there. FLW Tour Pro Matt Becker. Yes, sir. What's up, dude?
What's up?
What's going on? What are you doing? Putting lotion on or something?
No, I was just cleaning off my hands from all that guac I just ate.
Oh.
He didn't save me none.
So you guys had a Mexican fiesta tonight?
Yeah, keep distracting him. There's a little bit left.
Nice, man. Well, good to see you, dude.
Yeah, you too.
Take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah. Matt Becker, right there.
Yeah.
Cameos galore. That's the magic of a bass fishing talk show. It's right there.
Lots of those.
You got to do it. So what I was saying is, didn't you make like some kind of last minute decision in that M1 derb that ended up, getting you the win?
Yeah, so in practice, this was back in the day when you could practice forever. So I think I allowed 5 or 6 days of practice. And I found this like an oxbow that was leading back up into a creek that led into an oxbow. Well, I got out and practiced, moved some logs and all that, because when I got out and walked, and when I looked in that oxbow, I was like, oh, my gosh, that looks like the promised land. I never made a cast in there, but I'm like, wow, it would be awesome to get back in there. So I started moving logs and all that, and I got to a few logs that I had to have a chainsaw to cut them. So I went to Walmart and got a chainsaw, come back and practice, and cut one out, cut another one out, and I had one more log to cut so I could get in there, and I pinched the blade. I didn't know nothing about chainsaws back then. So I pinched the blade
I saw your commercial.
Unbolted and left the blade in the log itself. So then I come back, and the tournament started, and the first 2 days of the tournament, I actually fished, just another oxbow, and I caught enough fish to make it to the third, or I don't know if it was 3 or 4 days, whatever. I caught enough fish to advance to the final day.
Okay.
And then the final day, I was like, I ain't got nothing to lose. I said, I'm going to go cut that log out and see if I can get in there. Drove all the way up there, cut it out, went in there, and won $700,000.
That's what I'm talking about. Boom.
Nice.
Right there. See, and a lot of people, don't hear about that part of it. They just think about the check. That's all.
Yeah. They see that check, and they blinded by everything else.
That's the end of it. Hey, didn't you get protested once, actually, for catching fish in practice?
Yeah. Roland Martin, that was actually Rick Clunn. Rick Clunn came up to me. Well, I'll tell you that second. But this is when Bassmasters had an idea that they would announce at the beginning of the year what boat number you were for the whole season.
Oh yeah.
So I knew at that tournament I was like boat 99 the first day of the tournament. and I'm in a community canal
In Florida.
and I'm in there trying to find a bonus, like maybe up underneath a log or out in the middle of a pocket,
Sure.
not those obvious ones, that sit there with a white inner tube. But, I was out there trying to find a deeper bed or something that I could get to.
A little obscure.
But while I'm going down the canal, I could see a white inner tube 20 feet away. So as I'm going by it, if I flipped in there and she bit it, I set the hook on her. Because I know I'm not going to,
Yeah, it's not going to be
boat
there. Ain't going to do you no good.
Right. Boat 99, I'm not getting on
You're
that
done.
3-pounder, So Roland was coming around the corner. I was coming this way. Roland was coming this way. And he saw me jack one. He goes, what are you doing? I said, well, Roland, I said, I'm boat 99. I said, I know I'm not going to get on that fish. I just caught him. Blah, 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 blah. So I go to and I caught 2 fish. That's it. 2 fish in the canal. So I go to the registration and he's sitting there with Trip welding, and he goes, and I walked in behind him and he goes, Trip, and he was catching the fish. I bent over Trip's shoulder and looked him in the face, and I said, Roland, it's practice. We're allowed to catch fish in practice. And he, it just kind of blew it. That's when that, what's the name of that, loudmouth bass? Y'all remember when they came
with
out?
Kumar and
Loudmouth
Zona,
bass?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that?
I remember seeing all about this on there. Absolutely.
Yeah, so loudmouth bass had just come out, and they were, dying for something controversy or something to talk about.
Sure.
And so they blew it all out of proportion. Tommy Sanders, all those guys were like, he was going out practicing fishing against, they blew it out of proportion. So I caught 2 fish, and they blew it up like I'm trying to catch every spawning bass in the lake and that I'm playing.
Hey, they changed that rule because of you.
Yeah. So Rick Clunn comes up to me and he goes, congratulations, Dudley. I said, I was like thinking, all right, I didn't win a tournament. Why is Rick Clunn telling me congratulations? He goes, I got about 3 rule changes. He goes, Roland Martin's got about 10 rule changes. And he goes, you got your first rule change, so congratulations.
David Dudley making history right there. That's how you do it.
Wait, what was that rule
That's how
change?
you do it.
What's that rule change?
Well, the rule change was they thought they were being generous by telling us when our boat draw was. And after
they cut that out.
after I did that, they went back to the mystery. I don't know when I'm going to get drawn, So
Yeah.
he was like, congratulations on getting that rule changed.
The Dudley rule.
Yeah, the Dudley rule change, yeah.
Hey,
I'm actually going to fish with Rick Clunn the 21st. In 3 more days, I get to fish with Rick Clunn.
Really?
There's nobody, well, I'm going to say nobody, but he would be, he is my number 1 bucket list. There's a lot of people out there, I'd be like, whatever. But there's just something special about Rick. So
what are you guys up to?
Oh, just hanging out. I told him, I said, I want to fish with you one day. And of course, he was very open to it. And he's like, anytime you want to come. So I'm up here close, and I called him and I said, are you available? So he's like, yeah. So
Awesome.
I'm actually going to do a sit down. I'm going to do a YouTube video with him. And then I'm going to do a sit-down interview with him.
Wow.
And I can't wait for that. Just being able to listen to him talk and pick his brain a little bit. And,
that's amazing.
He's a deep thinker.
Oh, yeah. We I don't usually get nervous, man, but when I interviewed Rick Clunn on this show, I was a little shaky.
Yeah. He when he talks, your ears better be listening. He's wise in a lot of things, and there's certain things he's even talked about when he came out with the loon pamphlet. Remember when he wrote those
the angling courses? Yeah,
and some stuff he talked about. Now I'm gonna talked to him a little bit about that too. He actually mentioned
The promise of
like
the loon.
one of his comments in there was, he said, one of the biggest things we don't know as bass fishermen is suspended bass. He said that's a whole realm of fishing that is untapped. You know, this is whatever, 20 years ago. You know, he was saying that the untapped fishery, you know, or not fishery, but you know, understand, you know, the untapped thing that we don't know about, he was talking about how it's all suspended. And now he goes, one day we'll tap into that. And of course, with the Alabama rig and swim baits and
the Mickey's and all that,
yeah, we've tapped into it. So I want to kind of pick his brain on that.
Dude, I can't wait to see the stuff on that, the footage you guys come up with on that one. That's going to be amazing right there. Hey, I want to talk about these Angler of the Year titles, okay? You know, 4 FLW Angler of the Year titles. Wow, man. I mean that's crazy. That's nuts. That is nuts.
Yeah. And I think most people will agree, like my first Angler of the Year was against 225 people. And I think, you know, the 11 and 12 was against 200 people. And this one was against 175, I think we started with. You know, to beat, that's why you don't see as many repeat Angler of the Years on our tour. And is because of,
Are you there?
Y'all there?
Oh, yeah, we can see you. We're good.
Something glitched, but the reason you don't see as many repeat winners on Angler of the Year is because of that. John Cox! What is going on?
What the heck is John Cox doing here? Ladies and gentlemen, John Cox, another Forest Wood Cup champion.
Forced himself in on that screen now.
Playing defense on John Cox up here in Lake Hamilton. All these creeks, you know, that come off the, you know, all these little backwater. I've been putting no trespassing John Cox. No trespassing John Cox. No aluminum boats allowed past this point. No trespassing.
What you need to put is electric fences. It doesn't work well with the aluminum boat. You know what I mean?
You could use that chainsaw.
Go get a chainsaw and cut down trees.
Exactly.
And just load the whole thing up where he can't get in there.
Well, David, you got to know I'm up to something here when John Cox shows up on the Skype screen.
Yeah.
You know we like to play game shows on Stray Cast, right?
Yeah.
Well, we are going to give, and I talked to, and this, believe me, this is official, okay? We are giving John Cox the opportunity to another shot at winning the AO Year title. The AO Angler of the Year title. I said AO Year.
AO Year.
Are you willing to participate in this, David?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
What we're gonna do in this, this is serious business. There's easy stuff in here, and there's hard stuff. This is challenging. Okay. So, are you guys?
David, I'm about an hour from your house, so if this goes down, I think we might swing by and hoist the trophy at least for a minute or something.
So here's the deal. We have 4 categories. Okay, are you ready, guys? There's 4 categories. I'm going to explain it first before we get into it. There's the bass fishing category. There's pop culture. There's sports. There's science. And there's music. And there's an A question and a B question in each category. Okay? So you can pick the A or the B. And if you don't know the question, you can pass.
Oh, Lordy.
Okay? So are you kind of following me?
I reckon you'll coach us through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's sports, bass fishing, pop culture, music, science, an A and B question in each one. You have the chance to pick A or B as your question, and you also have the option to pass.
Pop culture, question A.
Okay. Hold on a second here, man. Well, you got to start the game. Right? And John Cox gets to go first, Dave.
Okay.
You got to give him. I mean, you got to give the guy a chance here. You got all eager. You were pulling your shirt off in the 7-Eleven parking lot already. You know what I mean? Are you ready to do it? Let's start it up, James. Give me. It's time to play AOY Redemption with John Cox and David Dudley, live on Straightcast Outdoor Cartoon Television. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. Starting off with John Cox. John, pick a category: bass fishing, sports, pop culture, music, or science.
Let's go with sports.
Sports. Would you like A or B?
Let's go with A.
Let's go with A. Michael Jordan played for this professional basketball team as well as the Chicago Bulls.
Is it the?
Am I answering it or John?
John is, or he can pass to you.
Oh, is it the Washington Wizards?
The Washington Wizards. He got it.
Right.
Score one.
Oh my God.
Score. Hold on a second here. Score one for John Cox. Okay, and there's 10 questions, so this is obviously gonna build up here. Now, you want to keep going, or do you want to pass, John?
I guess I'll pass it on to David.
Passing it on to
guess.
David. All right, David Dudley. Pop culture, bass fishing, sports, science, or music.
Pop culture. I ain't gonna know none of them. Pop culture. Question A.
Pop culture, question A. The infamous Area 51 is allegedly holding secrets about what?
About peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Wait a minute here. You're
He's tanking.
That's your answer? Area 51.
If I had to guess, it's probably aliens.
Aliens is correct. Take this seriously now. There's a lot on the line. Okay, aliens is correct. It's 1-1. 1-1. Roswell. That's Area 51. It's in Georgia.
No,
Yeah, Roswell's in Georgia. That's where Orlando Wilson's from.
that's not
No,
true.
that's Woodstock. Okay, so now, are you keeping it, Dave, or are you passing it over to?
Let's keep it.
Okay.
We're gonna go pop culture. Question B.
Pop culture question B. Okay. You guys are keeping score, right? Somebody keep score, for crying out
I
loud.
saw you doing it.
It's 1-1, but I'll confuse me by the end of this. All right, pop culture question A. Or B. I'm sorry, B. Gary Coleman's adorable character Arnold from the sitcom Different Strokes had half of America repeating what catchphrase in the early...
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis? There he is. Okay, 2-1. I'm doing D, C. Okay, 2 for Dave Dudley and 1 for Cox. And then, okay, you keeping it, David, or you passing it on?
I'm gonna keep it. Let's roll on to bass fishing question A.
Bass fishing question A. Hey, John, you ever play horse with somebody? You know the basketball game horse, and then
Right.
once they get it, they play keep the ball, and they just shoot layups. That's what. That's what Dudley's doing right now. That's what he's doing right now. Bass fishing question A to you, David Dudley. What 2 lures did Takahiro Omori win the 2004 Bassmaster Classic on? What 2 lures?
The square bill and it was a chartreuse and black square bill.
Yes, sir.
And flipping.
What was the bait, sir?
Oh, the actual flipping bait.
Yes, sir.
It was Gary Yapamoto 2.
That is incorrect. It was not a Gary Yapamoto. I think
Brush
that's.
hog.
I think the
Brush
Gary.
hog.
I think it was a brush hog. Yes, but we're not. We gotta play. All right, we gave you a chance there. All right, so.
Back to John.
Yeah. So now we go. Automatically go to John Cox. Boom.
That was like 2 answers in 1 question. What's up with that?
You could have got a bonus if
Bass
you got them
fishing.
both right.
It's a bass
Oh.
fishing question.
Yeah. See?
That's 2
You
questions.
don't
in
argue
1.
with the game show host, Mr. Dudley. Hey, John Cox to you. Bass fishing, pop culture, sports, science, or music? Uh-oh. Johnny froze.
There he is.
Oh, there you are.
With science.
You're going with science. A or B?
Yeah, why not? Let's go with B.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Yeah, this is a... Yeah, if you get this one. The
Mr. Wizard.
In Einstein's theory of relativity, E equals mc2. What does the C2 represent?
What is that? I think the C2 is the speed of light. Maybe.
Wait a sec.
Is it the speed of light?
Come on, dude. How do you know this crap?
Is that what it is?
Yes. What do you got? You got the same Trivial Pursuit game at home that I got?
No, I was just guessing.
Did you learn that doing handyman stuff?
All right, you got scores? Okay. Are you keeping the ball or are you rolling?
I think I should keep it this go around.
Okay, keep the ball. Science, music, pop culture, bass fishing, or sports?
Let's go with music.
Music. Okay. What key is Mozart's Symphony Number 40 in?
Geez, I don't know. Is it the key of G or something, or the key of?
You're close. G.
The G minor.
G minor is correct. What is going on here, Dudley?
Getting Mozart questions.
This guy not only is a bass fisherman, but he knows about Einstein, Mozart, and Michael Jordan. It's like a genius. What's the score, Andy?
3-2 Cox right now.
3-2 Cox right. Are you keeping it or are you giving it back?
I'll give it back.
You're giving it back. Okay. David Dudley, science, music, bass fishing, pop culture, or sports?
Let's go with bass fishing again.
Oh, bass fishing again. Oh, yeah, pop culture's done. Yeah, you eliminated that one. Bass fishing again. This angler holds the title for the most Angler of the Year titles as a professional fisherman. So,
Roland Martin.
Roland Martin is correct. That is right. How many titles?
I want to say 11.
11. Close. 9.
9.
9.
That's
Okay.
That's pretty dang good. So where are we at now?
Tie.
Tied?
3-3.
3-3. Okay, are you keeping it, Dave? Bass
Yeah,
fishing's
let's
done.
go.
Okay, you got sports, or you got science, or music?
Let's go with sports.
Sports. This boxer said that this body part tasted like chicken on the Howard Stern show. This boxer.
I'm going to have to say Mike Tyson because he bit the ear of that dude.
That's right.
other guy.
That is right.
Yeah.
So he got it right. The ear tasted like chicken. Good job. Where are we at? Okay.
4-3.
4-3. Dudley, we got, 3 questions left? 2 questions. Where are you at, Dudley? You keeping it or you passing it?
I'm gonna bring it on.
So you're keeping it?
Yeah.
Okay. You got science or music left?
Let's go with science.
Science. Okay. A hot tub full of energy drink or a flux capacitor is a crucial component in what type of travel?
An energy drink and a flux capacitor.
Eric.
It wasn't that Back to the Future car.
Yeah. You're getting there. So a hot tub full of energy drinks or a flux capacitor are crucial components in this form of travel.
Like time travel.
Time travel is correct. He's a science guy, too.
He just can't be beat.
What is wrong with this? Okay, there's 2 questions left here. I mean, what do we got? This is the be all end all, right? Where are we, Ginge?
5-3, Dudley.
5-3 Dudley. You want to
So if
pass?
I get one more, I'll win.
Yeah, why don't you pass it to John and just let's see what happens.
And if he gets 2, then we're a tie ball game.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, and then
All right, let's see if you can tie it up, John.
Get 2 more
But
casts.
you got to keep your eyes closed. You can't look down at your phone and Google.
This one's worth triple points, though.
And this one, actually, we have
Daily double.
Oh, it is a daily double. Wait, how many questions do I got left?
One.
Oh, only one question. Yeah.
Worth triple points.
Oh, actually, it's a triple point question.
Oh,
Oh, my God. So this is for all the marbles, John Cox. I mean,
You win it.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about this one. All right. Give me some real suspenseful music for this, please. Everything's on the line. Everything's on the line here.
What comes after A in the alphabet, John?
No, this is serious. You ready? We can thank this vivacious pop singer for teaching us all how to spell bananas again with her 2004 hit. We can thank this vivacious pop singer for teaching us all how to spell bananas again.
Watching his eyes.
This 2004 hit.
Are we asking? It's Gwen Stefani.
It is Gwen Stefani, is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, your reigning 2019 FLW Angler of the Year is now John Cox.
Oh man!
Holy cow! This is nuts.
Good thing that was the daily triple.
Yeah, that was the day. Yeah,
That was clutch.
How
Yeah.
much timing?
that was close. That was close. Dudley, what do you think of all that?
He's a man. He got the triple winner. He's Jeopardy. Fishing Jeopardy is what we're playing, I reckon.
Have you guys had a chance to talk at all after the event?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much. Not too much. I've been going nonstop, man. I don't know. I know his phone's probably ringing off the hook too.
Crazy, man. Absolutely. That was a great derb though. Neck and neck, man. You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I never would have thought. I kind of, if I was playing bets before I went in that tournament, I would have bet against me. I reckon when I scratched his sunglasses in the morning, it helped. He must not have been able to see them or something. I don't know.
I knew when I checked into my hotel and out of the 5 rooms they gave me number 2. I knew I was done.
Oh no!
I was like, you gotta
no.
be kidding me. I was like, he can't know.
Is that a true
And
story?
Yeah, the guy was living in number 1. I was like, I gotta get number 1. And he's like, nah, all I can do is number 2. So
no.
I knew we were in trouble.
You should have went with a screwdriver and taken the number off the door and put it on. Well, dude, John, thanks for playing along, man.
I am. Thanks for having me on, guys.
You're a good sport, man, and congratulations on your 2019 Angler of the Year victory, John Cox.
Thanks.
We'll see you soon at the Cup, bud.
All right, see you guys.
Safe
safe,
travels,
man.
ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
John Cox, right there. Kaboom, kapow. That's absolutely nuts. Well, that's crazy, right, Dudley?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. That was a cool unexpected visitor on this show.
That's what we do on Stray Cast. I think, what did
It's
we?
becoming a trend.
Yeah, what did we do last time?
Hey, Danny Brower.
Oh yeah, we had Denny Brower call up and give Seth Feider the top 5 reasons he kicks ass. That was
That's awesome.
That was the last one.
That he gets to cut his hair if he loses.
He ain't doing it.
I know.
He still has trauma from when Zona did that to him, I think.
I know.
Hey, how about we get to know David Dudley a little bit more? You know, let's do it like interrogation style. What do you say?
All right.
Right.
Do I got a chance to refuse to answer?
There is no refusal whatsoever on internet bass fishing talk shows. You can plead the fifth to certain questions. Okay, it's all in fun. Right. We're gonna do it people's court style, interrogation. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's time to put David Dudley, 2019 FLW Angler of the Year, on the spot. Interrogation style. Wait, is he still Angler of the Year? Oh, okay, yeah. You're still Angler of the Year.
Yeah, now he is.
We just checked. What is the best cereal on the planet, David Dudley?
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles, according to David Dudley.
It's an acceptable answer. Yeah.
JP High agrees with that one. Are there any copies of that alleged TVMA photograph of you that somehow got onto that FLW or Bassin magazine, whatever that is?
I don't have any copies of it. Actually, I think I got it on an SD card somewhere, but I know who has it would be Brad Knight. He's got a copy of it.
Does he have one of those fathead versions of it on his wall? Like, you know, that.
I would hope not. People are probably wondering, what the heck was that question about?
We're not going to get into it too much. You know,
No.
let him figure it out. You always eat too much of this food. What is it?
Sushi.
Sushi. You can't stop with that, can you?
No.
Oh, it's so good,
It's
man.
bad. I wish I never would have took a bite of it.
Oh, it's so good, too. And
Yeah.
it makes us feel one with our prey, you know? It's
My
like
wife says that's the only thing that you pay hundreds of dollars for and poop it out an hour later.
It's a crappy investment.
True.
That's funny. I like that.
Literally.
But hey, did the top secret Dudley family tube play any role in the 2019 Angler of the Year victory?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? The secret Dudley.
I see you giving the quotes, but I really the little finger things, but I don't say it again. I really don't know what you're talking about.
That secret brush hog Dudley family tube.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. But if we would have went around a lot more grass fisheries, it probably would have. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And we're not supposed to talk about that either.
I don't care if you talk about it. You take a brush hog and slice it up like a tube.
You got mad at me last time on the show. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's out there now.
He got all puffy chest on me. He's like, listen up, Pat. We don't talk about that. I was like, all right, dude, all right. Hey, what is the biggest lie you have ever told in order to go fishing?
Probably I telling my mom I'm done with my homework and my essays and my reports, and so I could go fishing.
And you're gone. That's it.
Are you done with your homework, David? Yes, Mommy, I'm done. Are you done with your essay? Yes, Mommy, I'm done. Can I go fishing now? Okay, go ahead.
I'd always say I was going to the library. That covered it. You know.
Yeah.
You're at the library. What is the perfect breakfast to David Dudley?
Bacon, and then sometimes bacon, and then when I eat a lot of bacon and I'm done, then I'll start back up with bacon again.
There you go. So anything with bacon is the
Yeah.
perfect. Hey, do you ever secretly laugh about some of the decisions some of the professional anglers made about going to other leagues? You ever laugh to yourself about that?
No, I don't know if I can laugh
You cry?
at it, but I do have questions about it. Laughing, it was kind of one of those decisions. They jumped into the unknown. You know, it's like, hey, jump off this bridge, but I'm not going to tell you if there's water below you or snow or rocks or paper. Just jump off this bridge and come on and jump off with us. And I think that's kind of what they did. And, you know, we're kind of in the unknown of where they're landing at right now. I don't know.
So, you know, I mean, there's no obviouses to you. You're not like that guy.
No.
I get it. There's not to me either. I'm just curious about it because I hear people saying, that guy should have never done that. But who are we to say? We're not.
Yeah.
It's not.
No,
not.
it's a different format, and I think it's going to take a little while for people to embrace it. You know, there's a honeymoon for everything, you know, and they've went through a honeymoon stage already. You know, when it first came out, And I think they're learning, the honeymoon stage is over. Now it's, learning a little bit about each other, learning what ticks, what makes somebody happy, what makes somebody mad. They're just in a stage now where they're just working through, some issues, and, where they're going to come out on the other end is still unknown. But for sure, I can say the honeymoon stage is over.
Yeah, and I think it'll work out, and you just hear a lot of talk about, oh, this guy's not doing anything because he just moved over to this league, but that's not necessarily the situation or the scenario whatsoever about that,
Well, I mean, you see, like take for instance Jacob Wheeler, like in my opinion, there was an article that came out for a league to brag about every fish counts. Okay. That's their thing. The fisherman that can go out there and catch the most fish is going to, he's going to be the best. Well, Jacob Wheeler went out there and destroyed every category. And he didn't win Angler of the Year. And I'm not taking anything from Edwin. He's a legend. He's awesome. He's an incredible angler. But there's something wrong with their point system if you're bragging and you build your system around every fish counts, then Angler of the Year points should be structured around that system. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah. I didn't think of it like that.
And for Jacob Wheeler to have not won Angler of the Year this year, it just, that's one of those honeymoon stages that they got to iron out. That I feel stat-wise he should have won. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like he should have. He should have won.
Yeah.
But that's just one of those things I was telling you about. Just got to iron some stuff out.
Learning curve. Curve right there.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the closest to a fist fight that you ever been on the water? You ever got close like that? Anybody ever really?
Yeah, I went
grind
back
your
there
gears?
and I walked back to the back of the boat one time, and it was a pro-am event, and I had an amateur in the back, and I'm up there, and it was a sight fishing tournament, right? I hate them because I'm going to fish for the fish. It's just a bad situation for a pro-am event.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working this fish, and this guy had already given me his resume in the morning. I work for this, and I do this, and I'm Mr. Bass, and I'm this, that, and the other, and I make so much money. And like he give me a resume. I was Mr. Bass in 2011 and 12, and I'm retired. I make all this money. So he's sitting in the back, and I'm working this fish. Finally, I got her to nipping. Like she starts nipping at my bait, and I set the hook, and I miss her. Now, I've been working her for 20 minutes. Now she was making big circles. Now she's sitting dead into her bed, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
She's mad.
Ready.
She's like,
heated.
She's nipping. She's biting. I throw in there, whoosh, miss it. And I think I missed it twice. And that guy goes, listen here, bud. You've been fishing for that fish long enough. It's my turn now.
Wow.
And he threw his bait in there. And I watched the bait go down, and she's mad now. And she goes nosing down on it, and he missed her. And, dude, I'm shaking.
Yeah, you're livid now. Absolutely.
I kicked my trolling motor on 24 high, and I troll a motor as far away from that fish, like just getting out of Dodge.
Yeah.
I stop in the middle of the cove. I walk back there on the back deck, looking right in his face and his eyes, and I said, listen here, bud. I said, you see that fish back there? I said, if I don't catch that fish, I don't pay my light bill. I can't buy diapers for my kids. I can't put food on my table. I can't pay my mortgage. So by law, I can't tell you where to cast and where you can't cast. I said, but you understand this, buddy. I said, you've already told me what you make and how much money and you're all this, that, and the other. I said, that over there in the bed, I said, that's my paycheck. I said, so you can throw anywhere you want to throw, but you understand if I don't catch that fish, I don't get any of that stuff. So I trolling motored right back over there to that fish, and he turned around and threw as far out of the back of the boat as he could. So I got my point. I got my point. Now, we didn't fist fight or nothing, but I let him know, you know, and then that won't gonna happen. You know?
That ain't going down that way.
David, if you could go back 30 years and take one bait from now with you, which bait would it be? Wacky Senko, wacky worm? Yeah.
Wacky worm.
Really?
Wacky worm.
The good old wacky.
Wow. That'd be a good one.
Hey, you obviously spend a lot of time in the woods, in the water, on the water, I should say. You ever have any crazy unexplained experiences, like like squatchy type deals or something on the water you just couldn't explain?
Let me think on that one. I was guiding one time. Now this is kind of weird. Well, it's really weird. But I was guiding one time, and remember them Strike King diamond shad rattle traps?
Yeah.
Remember
Of course,
those things?
Yeah.
The diamond shad. I was fishing in the bay in North Carolina, saltwater fishing, and the lady I was guiding at the time, we were using crabs. She starts to reel one in, and I'm looking at her pole, and I'm like, oh, she's got one, and I'm standing there waiting to do my job, and she's reeling it. Finally, I see her bait, and I look on the hook, and I'm like, there's no fish on it, but her pole is bending like she has a fish. She had hooked the eye of a swivel that was connected with a Strike King diamond shad to a striper, and she had connected it straight in it. And I'm flipping out, dude. I'm like, oh my gosh, lady, that is like, what did you say, a gazillion?
Yeah.
Whatever. I was like, that's like 1 in a gazillion chances of happening. She's like, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, lady,
that's cool.
That's like, if you realize what you just did, like, anyways.
Yeah.
So that's probably the wildest story I've ever experienced out there.
Yeah, that's insane. That's the needle in the haystack of bassin' right there.
Hey, and it was so long ago. Now get this, you'll really laugh at this. It was so long. I asked Matt Becker. I told him this story last night. I said, Matt, do you know what a bag phone is? He goes, no, never heard of it. So the people who know what a bag phone is, that's how long ago it was. We had the old cord and the telephone, thing.
You were a big deal
big
if you
bag.
had that too, man.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Hey, you watch much TV at all when you're home? You watch?
No. We had, this would be going on year 10. I've been 10 years drive TV at our house.
Is that right?
Yeah. 10 years. I haven't had TV in 10 years. Now we have a TV in the house.
Okay.
And we'll pick like a movie night or something special, like we'll get the kids or whatever, but we don't have TV. We haven't had TV in our house for going almost 10 years now.
How can you not watch Game of Thrones or Stranger Things?
Never heard. I've heard of them, but never watched it, never seen it.
No, that's outstanding that you could do. You know who else doesn't watch TV? Is John Cox. That's just because he doesn't feel like setting his up. He still has a.
I've become a YouTuber, meaning like on my phone, if I get chance, I'll watch some stuff on YouTube, when I'm traveling or whatever. But I don't, as far as having a TV that we can flip channels or do anything with, we don't do any of that.
That's outstanding. I mean, that you can do that. Think of how much time you have for real things then. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? God, I wish I could have done that with my kid.
I'd like to do that with myself.
Yeah,
at some point.
exactly. Hey, and speaking of the YouTube thing, man, I'm loving your channel. I love it. It's great. It's raw, you know? It's just basically raw footage. David Dudley on the run. That's what it is. On the land.
Yeah, I've jumped into this YouTube world. I don't know what I'm doing, but I basically got tired of sponsors asking me, do I have a YouTube channel? And once you answer that question 3 or 4 times and say no, you know, I told my wife, I said, I don't know what we're doing, but evidently it must be a powerful thing. We're going to try it. So I started asking a lot of people what to do, and so it's been a fun journey, that's for sure.
You're having a good time with it?
So, yeah. It's David Dudley Outdoors is what it is. So I do everything. If you go on YouTube and type in David Dudley Outdoors, it got everything from, of course, tournament footage. I do practice. You know, if I advance every day, I journey you through my thoughts. I think that's kind of what it's more than
I love that.
Slow-mo, fish catch, music montage.
Yeah.
Music montage.
There's plenty of that.
Slow-mo.
Jazz hands.
Fish catch. Slow-mo.
Dramatic
then
fish
you get
jump.
to hear them talk. I pretty much talk the whole time. So I'm walking you through if you want to watch pretty TV production stuff and slow-mos and music montages, there's like 6 million of them out there on YouTube.
Exactly.
You know, you can watch those all day long.
I love that you don't edit. Like, I mean, you do edit, but to some extent you don't. Like what do you do where you're doing the bait modifications, where you show how you jack with different baits? You know, what do you have?
Yeah.
What's the name you have for that? You got a name for it? I can't think.
Hacks.
The hacks. Yeah, I love when you do the hacks, man. Like that crankbait deal. You showed us the whole thing pretty much. Like when you were filing those lips to make them dive deeper. Like the old Bagleys. Remember how the Bagley used to come with the thin lip?
Yeah.
It's like the same deal.
And it does it, you know, and typically in the hacks I'll explain everything, you know, what the thought process is behind it and try to educate people on, you know, what it is. So if you're listening, just go surf around my channel, you know, go to David Dudley Outdoors. And actually I'm going to be starting to do a lot of live footage on YouTube,
awesome.
Which has been, you got to hit that notification button to do that. That's been really fun. It's where I open it up, kind of like you guys. You just open it up for questions, and I answer the questions that come in, and we end up getting on topics that I never intended on talking about, but it's always fun.
That's the fun part, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, 2019 has been a crazy year for bass fishing, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 50 years old. How old are you? Like, you're got to be in your late 40s, right?
43.
43. Okay, early 40s. Sorry about that, David. But I mean, you've never seen anything like this in all your years of bass fishing. Is that kind of a safe statement to see? I know I haven't.
Well, if you know, this is like the second go round, because think about it. FLW came and shook up the industry. Remember?
I do.
I mean, let's go back to the Bassmaster days, 22 years ago. I lived through that era. I watched if you won the classic, you get $50,000. If you won a regular season tournament, you got $40,000.
Wow.
Here comes FLW.
Yep.
Hey, come over here. First place is 150. Oh, and guess what? We're going to throw in a bonus tournament during regular season that's 250. You know, come on. Like, so watched another circuit develop out from Bassmasters, and you saw the shifting of anglers going on the FLW side. What side are they going to go on? So it was kind of like the same thing again, except now we had 2 leagues with a third one coming into play.
But here's the
thing. Who's going to go where? What they going to do? You know, it was kind of reliving the what we did back then.
But I hear you there, but there was still the opportunity to fish both things. I have never in my years of bass fishing that I've
True
been
that.
a fan of the sport
Yeah.
have seen this much division in bass fishing as I have in 2019. I'm just straight up saying
I
it.
agree. Yeah, true that. I forgot. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, that even though they came out, not everybody had the money to fish both sides. But
correct.
I'll agree with you. Yeah, it was we had the option to fish two, and then after a few years of that,
it got hard. I mean, you had to be real dedicated to do it.
Yes.
You know.
Then they were like, look, we're not going to work with you. I'm not going to work with you. We're going to do our thing. You're going to do your thing. So then we really had to choose which one we were going to fish. But, yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. Yeah, I forgot about that. We could fish both of them. But this year, 2019, was kind of almost, they're saying that, they're under a 3-year contract. And it was almost like they were they won't threaten, but it was like this, everything happening so quick, a lot of promising, a lot of, projecting of what could happen and where they were going and what was reachable. And, so a lot of those guys, man, they took a leap and, and they are where they're at today.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just, I haven't seen it, and I know everything's going to be okay, but I haven't seen anything like this in the years I've been around. But I am enjoying more bass fishing. I'll tell you that. I'm enjoying that there is more bass fishing everywhere.
I'm loving the live.
Yeah.
Whether it's FLW live, Bassmaster live, or BPT live. Live fishing is just cool because you get to, I will say this. On the BPT side, the MLF side, you don't get to see the whole story. They only give you one sentence after in every chapter.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is FLW will follow 4 anglers, right? You get to see the whole chapter 1, chapter 2. Watch them in the slow times. See, okay, they're not catching nothing. I just watched Brian Thrift go from fishing offshore. Now he's flipping the bank. I get to see their thought process. I get to watch them pick up a frog when they were throwing a buzzbait, switch to a frog. We don't get to see the story unfold. It's just fish catch, fish catch, fish catch, fish catch, which is, it's good. I could go with it. But I like to get the whole story a little bit. I wish I could get the whole story a little bit more on their side. So if you watch Bassmasters, they cover it. You watch him struggle. You watch him gain momentum. You watch him lose momentum. You watch him move around. And I love watching the whole story. But that's just my opinion. Some people like watching fish catches, all day. I can Google anything on YouTube and watch fish catches for 365 days. I don't have to watch BPT. Right. I want to see the whole story.
You want to see the whole deal. Hey, let's hypothetically say that FLW went away and you had to make a decision. Would you be able to fish a format like that's unfamiliar to you with the every fish counts deal as opposed to the best 5?
Every tournament I fish, I'm not a Jason Christie. I'm not a, who else has, like an Andy Morgan, has that 5 fish mentality, like dedicated. I'm not that person. So, I just like to get bites.
Okay.
And I'm like, the more bites I get, hopefully they're big enough to give me a good limit. That's just me. That's my mentality. So, I wouldn't be opposed to, I'm not opposed to the 5 fish limit, and I'm not opposed to the every fish counts, format.
Gotcha.
Either one, I'm of course happy with. Yeah. Would be happy with. So I don't care.
I'm just curious how you stood on that. I know a lot of guys are freaked out by that format, and a lot of guys are like, yeah, this is awesome because I get to jack on as many as I can.
Yeah, I think that would be me. I like to catch fish. To me, it's all about the bite. A bass can't pull a drag anyways, unless you're a smallmouth. Yeah. But bass are a bunch of sissies is what they are.
Our stripers. You used to fish the striper league.
Yeah.
Remember that, dude?
Yeah. Well, I got it for stripers for 9 years at the Outer Banks.
I remember.
I've seen enough stripers to sink the Titanic. We used to average 500 stripers a day. I do 3 trips a day, and we would average 500 stripers a day every day.
I remember seeing you on some striper tournament, man, like an FLW striper tournament. Am I imagining things or no?
No, yeah, I traveled that circuit. They came out with it one year, and I traveled and went to every place that they had it, and we did really well in that. I don't remember, but I think we did really well in quite a few of those tournaments. I don't remember, but yeah, that was a fun circuit. I hated to see that go away.
What was that? Our artificials only, or was it? Could you use bait in that too?
Artificial.
Artificial.
Mostly artificials. Yeah.
Hey, you know how the president gives a State of the Union address?
I have no idea.
You know what I mean? You know what a State of the Union address is?
Yeah, where he addresses and talks about things.
Yeah. Would you like to give a state of bass fishing address right now to close our show?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it. Let me give you some official presidential music first. Let's make this official. Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring to you David Dudley with the State of Bass Fishing address. David Dudley.
Yeah, this is President David Dudley of the fishing world. And I'd like to address all you crybabies out there that cry about the Alabama rig and think that the Alabama rig is a cure-all to the bass fishing world. I'm here to inform you that I have now passed the Congress that we're going to allow the Alabama rig to come back in all circuits, all tournaments, because you bunch of crybabies who think that the Alabama rig is going to make John Doe a better fisherman just because he can cast it out there. So our testing, and we've done our thought process on it, and I'm just here to let you know that it's now passed that it is against the rule, it is against the law to outlaw the Alabama rig.
Against the law to outlaw the Alabama rig. That is the State of Bass Fishing address. David Dudley, right there. That was outstanding. We're building the wall. Keep those crybabies out.
Yeah.
Dude, I always have a great time when you come on this show. You know that, right?
Yeah, I do too, man. I enjoy y'all's company and your questions.
Well, thank you, and we'll see you. We'll see you at the red carpet event at the Forestwood Cup.
Yep, that'll be here in a few more weeks, I reckon.
And if Ryan has to clean his sock drawer that day and he can't come because he might have to clean his sock drawer, maybe you could help me do a little co-hosting at the red carpet event.
We'll do it.
That would be.
Sit me down.
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up one more time for 2019 FLW Angler of the Year, President David Dudley, right there. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Dave. Take care.
See y'all.
He's right there. That's always a fun time, man. Dave,
Yes, sir.
He's opinionated. I like that about him. I love that.
Bass fishermen should be.
That's exactly right. Hey, what do you guys want to do now?
Yeah, you want to give something away? you like giving things away?
I thought you would never ask. What are we giving away tonight, JP? JP?
He's thinking.
We're giving $50 worth of line and lure products.
$50 worth of line and lure products. All they had to do was like and share the live Facebook feed.
That is correct.
It's that easy. And if you put them into the RCD2 equals MC squared speed of light concerto in G minor.
Motorhead. Matt Heath, you are tonight's winner.
Matt Heath is the winner.
You're still watching?
Of the Kevin Van Dam Line and Lure Conditioner Spray, Bout a Stern product, $50 worth. I got him, Goomta.
Getting him a jug.
Yeah, getting him a jug full. You know what I'm saying?
Jug is slick.
You know what I'm saying? Hanging out over there. Well, congratulations to Matt Heath and great job, JP, and saying Matt Heath.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Heath. Hey, message if you're watching. JP, you tell him.
Yeah, tell
him
JP.
what to do.
Matt Heath, if you're still watching, please private message the Stray Cats Facebook page and say, hey, I won the KVD line and lure.
Attention, JP.
Yes.
And Ryan. Put attention, JP and Ryan.
You can use as
They're
many
in charge of all
exclamation
that.
points
Pat
as
talks.
you would like.
Remember, I talk. That's my job.
Pat talks.
That's what I do. Any
And-
bitching,
And he
don't
goes
send it my
parallel.
way. I just talk. That's what I do. Ginger, what do you do?
Push button.
You got an awesome shirt on, Ginger. Where'd you get that? Where'd Megs get that shirt?
Roast beef, bro.
Where'd she get it?
I don't know.
Did she get it on the Amazon.com?
From the 80s,
Did they bring it? She went all the way back. Did she put energy drink Anaflex capacitor in the hot tub?
Way, way back.
And she got all the way back there in that. It's fun to be back, guys.
Yeah.
2 weeks off.
I like being here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're back next week. And then the following week, if all goes right, I got something worked up that is going to blow the socks
Should be a good one.
off of the Bass Fishing Galaxy.
Are you going to bring in a pool in here
It's a hot tub.
so we can live broadcast from a pool?
It's amazing. It's amazing, and as long as everything doesn't go horribly wrong, it'll go horribly right. You know what I mean?
That's the usual.
Hey, thank you so much to John Cox for calling in, messing around with us right there. Thanks to David Dudley, of course. Thanks to all you that viewed tonight. Seriously, thank you. We appreciate you tuning in. Thanks to all the sponsors. Make this show possible. Without you guys, we can't do this stuff. We
No,
can't
no.
do it. We're all poor. We're just poor fishermen.
Yes.
Yeah, baits are expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Thank you to all the sponsors for making this happen. Thank you so much to Line and Lure, Isaac Moore, for providing the giveaway to you guys tonight. JP High, Andrew Ellenberger, he's the Ginger Ninja. Ryan Popcorn Whitaker, Larry
Pat
Kyle.
Renwick.
Yeah, and that's me,
That guy?
myself, Pat Renwick. We'll be back next week. Same Bass time, same Bass channel. Ciao. Peace. Pete Glusick, double point out.